Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode here on Lucid SMP. This is episode 18, and boy, am I excited to show you what I have going on today. It is an awesome shulker box monster! Yay! No, I'm kidding. We've been working on the Zone 4 dungeon, and we have all of the functionality in. So let's take a look because I'm very excited. This was a lot of fun to build. So we're using a lot of the mossy cobble, and we're using a little bit of mossy brick as well, but let's go ahead and go through this. We'll look at all the redstone a little bit later, but we have 4 tasks that the player has to get through to be able to complete this dungeon. Let's take a look at this first book here. Who dares enter the ancient temple of the forest? You are not welcome here. You are not allowed to leave. A mere puny mortal such as yourself will never figure out the tasks that lay ahead. If you somehow manage to do the impossible and figure out these puzzles, then you shall be set free to escape the Temple of the Forest as well as the Shadow Forest. If you cannot complete these tasks, you will remain here forever. Only the Chosen One, the adventurer of the legend, holds the power to wield the weapon that lies within. If you are this being, take this weapon and rid our world of the evil iron monster that has taken over our land. Alright, and our first task here. This, of course, will probably have banners or something over it. It should be pretty straightforward. I'm not really giving any clues to these because it's a puzzle. You should have to figure it out. But you'll see this dirt, and you've been using your hoe for a lot of stuff. So you'll come in here and you'll hit this. And oh no, I get hit by some arrows. That's not good. You hit another one, and then this pops out. Okay, cool. So you start to get the idea, and what you should do really is just come in here, hoe all of them, hopefully not get hit by too many arrows, and then you've got to run and jump your way over here. If you don't make it across, then there's just a little ladder to get back. It's a pretty straightforward little task, and yeah, I'll have to put a lot of arrows in that thing because every time one unhills, it goes back, but yeah. So then we come around to this room, and this is the second puzzle here. I don't know. I might have to put a book here. I'm going to ask a couple people and see what they think. But basically the idea is you have to get this redstone block to the end over here so that it will make this redstone block come down and open this door. So there's a whole bunch of buttons, and this is what you're supposed to do. This was a lot of fun to build, by the way. This was a great project. Like, I really enjoyed this a lot. Okay, and then you push that one there, and then you double click that one to push it further. Then you pull it over with this one. You push it up. You pull it up with this one. You push it over with that one. You grab that sticky piston and you pull it. Then you pull the block. You grab this sticky piston and pull it. And I don't mind showing the process for this because ultimately it's going to be a while before this game comes out, and I doubt people will actually take the effort to go back and look at this video if they, if they're having trouble, but it's there in case they need it. Then I threw a book here. Congratulations, Stink. You have made it halfway through. You may have this weapon. You have proved you deserve it. Now you must prove that you deserve to escape. So right here, there will be a barrel with a bow and some arrows in it, and then we'll come into this room. And I feel like I tried to make it pretty obvious with the 3 wood choices that are on the wall and all of these different buttons. So you can come over here and you can click the button and you'll see it opens the door. But what you really want to do is take your bow and arrow and shoot all 3 of the buttons that match the wood color, and all 3 of the doors will remain open for you. And then you come into this last room. You're going to see these big crazy wall here. You're going to look at this book, and it will say, 1 torch can open all 3 doors, but not all at once. 1 door has a trick, 1 door has a treat, and, oh, typo there, and 1 door is, at last, the exit. You must take this torch and find your way out. That'll be a redstone torch. I have learned over the centuries to leave my hopes out of it, Stink. So many have tried and so many have failed. However, this time something seems different. Please help us, Stink. Yeah, so you'll get a redstone torch. And then you have to find where you put this redstone torch to be able to open these doors. I don't want to show you where that spot is because, you know, that kind of defeats the purpose. But then through there, yeah, one will have a prize, one will have a trick, probably some arrows shooting you in the face, and then one will be the exit. So yeah, that's basically what we have for this temple. So basically these are three 3x3 piston doors, all exactly the same. One will just come out to, or two of them will just come out to small rooms, and then one will be a path that leads you out of the Temple of the Forest. And then, yeah, I think it's a very cool setup. And then this one was kind of fun to build as well because I had to run all of these intricate redstone lines, making sure that things went to the right place. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's a really good. I think it's a really good start. And then I think now we should go do something fun. I haven't seen Onyx on the server in a while, so what we're gonna do is something we were, you know, potentially planning on doing with him. I'll hit him on Discord and see if he's able to join us. But we need to do some testing with an Iron Golem because that is going to be the final boss of the game, and I need to make sure that it's kind of doable. So I have a little area set up. So let's meet up over there and let's start fighting some Iron Golems and see what the heck happens. Alright, my friends, we are back and we are at our little AFK station here in our industrial zone. And if we turn around and look this way, glass in the way. If we turn around and look this way, we see we have a little bit of a setup over here. This is where we're going to be testing our Iron Golems. So let's fly over here and I'll show you what we have going on. It's just, you know, this is just a testing thing, so it doesn't need to be super duper pretty, but in here I have a bunch of naturally spawned Iron Golems from this little villager setup right over here. Basically, I just have some villagers and some workstations, and they just naturally spawn the Iron Golems, so those guys will actually fight me, which is good. That's what we need. We'll go through these shulker boxes here in a second, but we have a little arena here as well. The one in the game will actually be much, you know, more intricate and, you know, involved than this, but I wanted to try a couple different types of, you know, things that the player can use. Like, I wanted to try these 3 tall pillars because I know if you're on top of 3, the golem can't hit you, but he can actually get up here, so I don't know if this is going to be helpful. And then also something more like, okay, this one's floating up. It's only 2 blocks, but you have some space. Maybe you can maneuver on here, that sort of thing. So different things to try, you know, during the fight. So that's what this setup here is. And then if we come this way, we have a bunch of shulker boxes. So this one here has the armor that the player should end up getting at the end of the game. So that's pretty much, and this is the basic, you know, the unbreaking may or may not be on there, but it's not going to hurt anything. So it's protection 4 on everything, and then sharpness on the sword. And then we've got power 5 on the bow with regular arrows, some golden apples, and golden carrots, because by the time the player gets here, they should have all this pretty good stuff. And then this is just the lead I've been using to move the Iron Golems. And then in all of these boxes, we have potions. I don't know exactly which potions will and won't be involved in the game, but I brought all of the ones that I have as potential, like fire resistant, that's strength, but I have fire resistance in here, and I don't think that's going to be super helpful. Splash potion of healing, I don't know how helpful that will be against this guy, because it will heal him as well. We've got, yeah, the fire resist there, a night vision, there's also strength, which would definitely be helpful. So, you know, the different rounds of testing will involve, you know, just the gear, and then, you know, using different potions and that sort of thing, using the shield, and really just testing how hard it actually is to fight this guy. So we're still waiting on an answer from Onyx. So while we wait for that answer, let's go ahead and look at something else. We've talked about many times my shopping addiction that I've got, and I usually don't show too much of that on camera, because to me it's like you go to the shopping district, you know, it's fun once or twice, but then after that it's, you know, the same kind of thing over and over again. But just for the Zone 4 temple, just for the temple, let's take a look at the clips this time that I recorded for the shopping district. Welcome back, my friends, and I hope you enjoyed that little montage of us going to the shopping district about 1,000 times and buying just about everything. Yeah, so thanks to everybody who has the shops and stocks them, because I use them a lot and it makes building huge things a lot easier. So now we're back here over at the Iron Golem area, and I've talked to Onyx. He's got a new job. It's keeping him very, very busy, which good for him. I'm very, very happy for him that he's got a job that he's happy with and things are going well for him. But that means he has a little bit less time for Minecraft, and that's perfectly fine. So we're going to go ahead and work on this Iron Golem testing ourselves, and if he gets some time in the future, it would still be very, very helpful to have a second opinion on this, because, you know, you always got to have a larger sample size, right? Because just one person is not enough to say, okay, this is good or this is not good, whatever. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves a shulker box. The white one is the one I always use for my personal stuff. And let's go ahead and take off all of our gear and put it right here into this box. I'm just going to do this real quick to make things a little easier for me later. And everything we've got can go right in here. Perfect. And make sure we set our spawn. Cool, we've already done that. We're going to put on all of this gear. Grab that. We're going to grab half of this, a stack of arrows, and a bow. Let's go ahead and get ourselves prepared here. This first time, I just kind of want to see how many hits does it take this Iron Golem to kill me with full protection gear. Like how much damage does this guy actually do? Let's find out. 7 hits, and I didn't have any regeneration. So that's a pretty good amount of hits. The next thing I want to test is, now that I've been killed by the golem, does it still attack me? Do you still want to attack me? No, we're cool now. Okay, that's awesome. That means if the player dies doing this, they'll have a chance to, you know, go get their gear back up, and it won't turn into like a forever thing. You won't be stuck here forever. That's a good thing. Okay, perfect. So now what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and grab this lead. We'll go ahead and grab the rest of this stuff that we didn't have last time and go ahead and actually try and fight it. So now let's go ahead and go back to the way we like things. That's perfect. This can go here in the offhand, and we go ahead and use this same Iron Golem because he's right here. So we're going to put you into the arena, Mr. Iron Golem, and we're going to have a fair fight this time and see what happens. And then once we do this, then we can play with potions, and we can, you know, see, you know, how possible and how doable and, you know, how tough of a battle this is actually going to be. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and try and be as fully prepared for this fight as possible. So the first thing I want to do is make sure I can eat before I go in there, and then I'll be fully ready to fight, and then I'll be ready to pop a golden apple as soon as I pop in there as well. But golden apples don't give you a whole lot of saturation. They just give you a lot of health. Here we go. This will work. Come on. There we go. Okay, so now we'll be at full saturation. Let's go ahead and go into here. Whoops, probably shouldn't have done that. Let's pop this golden apple. And let's get in position and let's see what we can do to this guy. Okay, let's get a fresh golem because that seemed to be a little bit weird. Okay, cool. So now let's try this again, and let's go with sword only. And maybe because it's a fresh golem, he will actually try and fight us a little bit more. I think that the power 5 bow is probably going to be too powerful. Let me see if I've got stuff to make another bow here. Okay, so we've got ourselves a couple unenchanted bows. Let's try this again and see what happens with this bow as opposed to the other one, because it seems like the power 5 is just way too powerful. And I think that we're going to have to get rid of these. Let me go ahead and do that as well, because it needs to be a pretty tough fight. And that was just not at all difficult. So, you know, we might have to reconsider what we're putting in here, but Iron Golems are just nice because they're renewable. I can, you know, put an iron farm there and just have them ready to go. I could do something like a raid farm or something to that effect, but I just don't think that, you know, it's much more difficult, right? So it's possible, or maybe I just like stack up a bunch of Ravagers and just have them ready to go, and I just put a new one in here every time. So if the Iron Golem's not tough enough, then yeah, maybe we'll have to fight a Ravager. So let's get you into here, and let's see if this is a more fair fight, Mr. Golem. Yeah, this is definitely already, it's easier than I thought it would be. I thought this was going to be very difficult. Like, I didn't think that the regular protection 4 gear was going to be enough. I thought we were just going to get completely annihilated by this guy. Like, his hits are pretty strong, but, you know, the golden apple and the protection 4, maybe that's it too. Maybe is I don't go with diamond gear. Maybe I go with iron. But we could also test that here pretty well too. And then also maybe it's just the protection 4 is too much. Maybe I just go with protection 2 or something like that. But now that we've got this here and we've got a lot of open room, let's go ahead and hit him with this bow a few times and see what happens. He's like, oh, there's something hitting me. I don't know what's going on. It seems to completely confuse him. Like, I'm very close to him. He's in my range. He can see me. If I walk up to him, he's going to smack me. But it seems like the bow is just way too OP. Oh, I'm wearing an Iron Golem head. Didn't even realize that. Yeah, even with just this, I think if we just walk up to him and spam click him, I think we're going to do just fine. See, and this is more like what I thought it would be. I thought you would actually have to battle it, right? So maybe they're just rules that, you know, you have, you know, maybe I'll make it to where you have to exchange your bow to get in or something, and then you have to exchange your shield to get in, and then you have to fight him without a bow and without a shield, and then I think maybe that's a more fair fight. Okay. So yeah, I think this is definitely a more fair fight, and I think that's going to be a good way to do it, is you have to turn in your bow, and you have to turn in your shield, like, so, like, when you get to this, maybe like to access one thing, you have to turn in your bow, and to access the next area, you have to turn in your shield, and then from there, you can go in and you can face the Iron Golem with, you know, whatever food and potions and that sort of thing that you have. But if I pop a golden apple right before I fight this guy, I think this is going to be easy as 1, 2, 3. Boom, got him. So yeah, that's a pretty easy fight. Maybe it's, yeah, maybe you have to fight a series of golems. Into the arena you go. Okay, so this one, I'm going to go ahead and use the strength. I think that's going to be the most useful potion in this fight. And let's see what we can get done here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And that lasts for a minute. So, like, if you went off and you had 5 golems in here, you could probably take out 3 of them with 1 potion. So I think that's pretty good. And as long as you haven't used it already up to this point, I think that'll be pretty awesome. And then now that I'm seeing kind of how easy this fight is, it'd be nice to have some other sort of things in here. Maybe there's some arrows shooting at you, or maybe there's, you know, other threats, other dangers. I want to see, like, if there's anything Iron Golems are immune to that the player is not, and see kind of how that goes. Let me pop this swiftness potion, and then go ahead and hit this guy as well. Now that I've stacked both, let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is the fight I'm looking for. Oh, got him. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. But yeah, the strength definitely helps a lot. So yeah, I might have to rethink the sharpness 5 on the diamond sword, but I think it's pretty close. Like, I'm not terrible at PvP. I'm also not like the best at it, but you know, for somebody that's like really not good at it, this would be probably pretty difficult. For somebody that is, you know, very good at PvP, this is probably nothing. So I wanted to see. Okay, so that gives me at least 2.5 hearts, and then I wanted to see if I have the invisibility on, if that makes any sort of difference. No, I only got 2 hits in, but now he seems a little more confused when I'm fighting him. Yeah, because he wasn't smacking me near as much instantly. There we go. All right, cool. So they all seem to help. Yeah, and I think it's a pretty decent thing. So yeah, I think, yeah, we'll just have to be limited on the amount of oh, poor guy. Get out of the wall. Get out of the wall. There you go. Yeah, so we'll just have to be limited on, you know, the amount of golden apples and potions that we give away, so it's not too easy, and so that, you know, they have to use it wisely once they get here. But I think this is good information, and I think if there was, you know, a decent amount of Iron Golems that they had to fight in sequence, then, you know, this could become pretty difficult. All right, with that testing out of the way, let's go ahead and head back over to the Adventures of Stink and do some more work on our Zone 4 dungeon. Welcome back, my friends, to the Temple of the Forest, and I hope you enjoyed the chaos that ensued with those Iron Golems. But yeah, there's one more thing I want to show you before we take off for today, and that is the completed Temple of the Forest. It's looking really nice, and I've got the shader pack on so we can take a really nice look at it, and once we've gotten some of these details in here, we've got some moss carpets, some vines flowing on the wall over there, some banners, we've got some leaves and candles and walls and all this stuff, and it looks really dark and dingy and run down, and it looks like a, you know, a scary place that's going to have some danger, and that's kind of the point. And it's, you know, I think it's looking really nice, and once these vines grow up a little bit, it's going to look a little bit better. But yeah, I'm very happy with the way this turned out. Let's fly to the other side so we can take a look at the next room as well, if we can. My wings good? Yeah. There we go. Ow, ow, ow. Okay. But yeah, this whole place is looking really nice and really creepy, and it's turned out really, really good. So yeah, but yeah, with that, I think we're going to go ahead and call it an episode for today. We got a lot done. We built this whole temple, and we're going to have to buckle down and do the dreaded Zone 2. Not Zone 2, Zone 3. Zone 3, Nether Zone. I've been dreading the Nether Zone. It's building in the Nether is not fun. So yeah, I've been dreading it a little bit. But we'll go ahead and crack on and get it done, because once Zone 3 is done, the first half of the game is done, and I'm super excited about that. So we have to push through and get Zone 3 done. And then 5 is not that big of a zone. It's the temple dungeon, but the whole zone is a dungeon. Zone 6 is just another shopping area with a few tasks and stuff, and Zone 2 went pretty quick, so I'm pretty excited about that. And then 7, we have a dungeon to build there, not a huge deal. So we're going to make some progress here pretty quick, so I'm hoping only a few months left and we're ready to open this game. But thanks for sticking around, and I will see you in the next one. Go ahead and hit those buttons down below, and stay magical, my friends. See you on the next one.